Dr. Bam, thank you very much for joining us today. You've had a formidable career of activism your whole life. This upcoming election is one of the biggest we've ever had, I believe. It's the most candidates, most political parties.
Everything, just about everything.
Can we manage, do you think?
Yes, we'll manage. You know, having said all that, you're going to be surprised. On the 3rd of August, the South Africans are going to get up, crack of morning. The number of South Africans registered, South Africans consciously registered to vote. The numbers have increased over the years. If people thought voting was a waste of time, they would never bother to come and register so that they are in our voters' roll. They know now that if you're not on the voters' roll, you will not vote. That's a sign. That's why they have, in spite of all the problems we have, they are there. It's a sign that increase on that. What is also interesting this time is that the youth in South Africa that has become very vocal, very active, making demands on change, now realize that the elections are important. It's the first time ever in our history since 1994 to have so many young people, so many. They said it's in the region of 60–70%. Never happened before, especially for local government elections, because they think, oh, you know, we'll never be councillors. It's a sign that there is something that people are looking for in our governance, so we cannot undermine that. And everything, as far as the Electoral Commission is concerned, I hear, is in place, as it has always been in place. I think South Africans are going to turn up precisely because of our problems. There will be people who are afraid here and there, which is understandable, but it will not happen in every part of South Africa. And I'm very happy because I think the observers, political parties, are going to make sure, and I'm happy about this, that there will be no fraud. The more of them that will come and observe elections, the better for the elections. And I think this is going to happen this time because the competition is very thick. But that competition will actually mean that we might, in spite of all the fears, have elections that are free of fraud.
I'm hearing a lot of people who are so despondent now about politicians and politics, especially young people, saying, you know, I'm just not going to vote in this next election. We know a stay away is also a vote to some extent, but how do you feel about that?
Staying away doesn't help, because somebody else is going to vote that party in power anyway, even if you are there or not there. So what's important to me is to say to young people, respect the process of the recognition of your rights. People have sacrificed for you to be recognized as a human being, as God's child, and as a South African citizen, that you vote. That you happen to vote for a party that is not a party you want becomes a secondary debate. That really is what we say to say. So I'm saying to young people, it's an important thing that you exercise this right. A price has been paid for the right. Go and vote. And maybe your vote will increase more other votes that can influence the change of a party. And maybe when the system changes, the very people you vote for, they will be accountable to you rather than them being accountable to the party.
Are there changes that you're seeing now with this local election that's different from the past that you're feeling positive about?
Yes, I think that one of my greatest concerns about this is the violence, the intra-party violence that is happening. It is very difficult to run and plan and campaign in the midst of grief, in the midst of fear, in the midst of mourning, in the midst of uncertainty. The best nations in the world find that difficult. There is an atmosphere that really should be an atmosphere of celebration. The event of voting and the process is such an important event in any nation that it should not be an event where people are so afraid, where people are so cynical, where people are so unsure that somebody might be killed. You know, if my father or my mother is a member, a councillor, maybe her life might go. And you can't can't say it's an isolated thing, because life is life. Anyone has a right in her life. And so it is very unfortunate that we are now talking of such important elections, but the fears are there of the people, and everybody is tense. Of course, there's competition, so there is a lot of uneasiness, and I think that is sad, because when we talk of the language of the elections, we say free and fair. We are not talking about the counting of the results. When we say free and fair, we're talking about the whole process, including the process that is open prior to the elections, and a process of acceptability, that after the elections, then there will also be peace. There will be no one who is contesting that I should have been appointed to be the councillor. And so these elections, unfortunately, on the whole, not in every province, not in every corner, but have created this kind of atmosphere which is making me very uneasy and very unhappy.